Thank you. If you could turn and face the flag for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
allegiance to the flag
of
of the United States of America
and to the republic
for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
You may be seated. Clerk, can you call the roll of council members, please?
Lehman. Here. Podak.
Here.
Cassidy.
Here.
Baker. Grine.
Here.
Mendoza. Here. Guernsey. Here.
All right, we are all here. Would someone like to make a motion to approve the minutes of the previous meeting?
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion by Mendoza, a second by Cassidy to approve the minutes. Clerk, would you call the roll, please?
Lehman.
Yes.
Podak.
Yes.
Cassidy.
Yes.
Baker.
Yes.
Grine.
Yes.
Mendoza.
Yes.
Guernsey.
Yes.
All right, they have been approved. Any communications?
I have none.
All right, Finance Committee.
Thank you. The Finance Committee met this evening at 5:30 p.m. The committee reviewed the June 2026 financial reports and noted that revenues are tracking closely with budget projections. Expenses continue to run below budget expectations through the first half of the year. The committee also discussed the upcoming property tax renewal and its importance in keeping the city on its current path of financial recovery. The renewal would help maintain current city services while allowing for continued investment in infrastructure repairs and maintenance. The finance director also provided updates on the audit, noting that it has continuing in progress. Rita will be sending letters out to delinquent taxpayers in September with a follow-up in November. The tax budget has been submitted to the county auditor, meeting the threshold dictated by the Ohio Revised Code. Public speakers were Deb Tyson and Jill Filiator, and the next Finance Committee meeting will be Tuesday, August 18th at 5:30 p.m. in council chambers.
Thank you. Public Affairs Committee.
The following upcoming events can be found on the homepage of the city's new website. Wednesday, July 22nd, Lunch on the Lawn with live entertainment by Jim Salega from noon to 1 at the City Building lawn. Sub sandwiches will be available for purchase. Saturday, July 25th, Christmas in July Toy Run begins at 10 a.m. at Fostoria American Legion Post 73, with riders departing at noon to benefit Toys for Tots of Seneca County, and concludes with a party at Tiffin Eagles 402 featuring food, drinks, and live music by Soul Pilot. Monetary donations and new toys will be accepted at both locations. Saturday, July 25th, Nimble Fingers Quilt Show will take place from 11 to 3 at the Fostoria Rail Preservation Society building, featuring the work and craftsmanship of local quilters. Saturday, July 25th, the St. Wendelin Festival and Fostoria Area Historical Society's Heritage Day will take place from 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. in downtown Fostoria. The day begins with the Andrew Dolan Tribute Rev and Run 5K at 10:30 and includes food trucks, Knights of Columbus bratwurst and beer, a classic car show, children's games and bouncy houses, and free tours of the Foster Glass and History Museums. Entertainment includes the Fostoria Community Band at 3, Gypsy Lovin' from 4 to 7, and Electric Circus from 7 to 11 p.m. The day will also feature the Fostoria City Schools Cheerleading Awards and exhibition and a Fostoria Historical Society time capsule event. And finally, Sunday, August 2nd, enjoy a free outdoor performance by the band Rumors at the Wainwright Amphitheater in Foundation Park from 7:30 to 8:30 p.m. as part of the summer concert series presented by the Fostoria Community Arts Council and the City of Fostoria. Thank you. That is all.
Thank you. Law and Ordinance Committee.
The Law and Ordinance Committee met this evening. We reviewed draft legislation establishing the administration's authority to regulate special events and approved forwarding it to council for a first reading at our next meeting. We also reported that the administration is currently updating its permit application to add a new subgroup specifically for extended duration events. Several members from the public spoke. Deb Tyson inquired about alley parking. Jill Filiator opposed legislation to regulate special events, and Council President Shaver asked the committee to review redistricting oversight. The Law and Ordinance Committee will meet again on Tuesday, August 18th at 5:15 p.m. here in council chambers. Thank you.
Thank you. Report of officers, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Mr. President. We have been informed that we have a hybrid form of government with our recent changes in the city charter and that we should return to the previous language. Since the changes in the city charter, we have been blessed to have qualified finance directors who have not only closed the books in a timely manner, but have found significant cost savings for the city. Last year's audit was by an independent accounting firm was clean, had no comments or recommendations. This year, we are currently going through 2 audits. The audit for 2025 is taking a deep dive into our accounting as is required when a city receives a grant of greater than $1 million. That audit is going well, and to date, there are no apparent issues. The second audit is by the Ohio Auditor of State and is required to release us from fiscal emergency. That audit is also going well with no apparent issues. The city of Fostoria is fortunate to have such competent individuals serving as finance director, and I applaud council for their diligence in interviewing, evaluating, and hiring these individuals. Now let me turn to the law director. According to previous city charter language, to become law director, one must be an Ohio licensed attorney, registered to vote, and residing within the city limits. I did a couple of different searches and was able to find only a couple of individuals who qualified, all over 70 years of age, and none of whom have run for city law director in the past. Thus, I would submit that under the previous language, the city may have been placed in a situation where they could not have found a law director. With the change in city charter to allow city council to appoint a licensed attorney, even though not living in the city limits, we have been well served. Thus, my conclusion is that the voters of the city of Fostoria have significantly strengthened the quality and competency of these positions, and I congratulate them and thank them. Thank you.
Thank you. Director of Law.
Thank you. I would just ask that tonight we pass by emergency the second piece of new business regarding the tax levy, so that way we can get that certified and off to the Board of Elections to get it on the ballot and to meet those Board of Elections deadlines, please.
Great. Thank you. Finance Director.
Thank you, Mr. President. I just have 2 pieces of legislation. The law director just touched on one that I would ask that we waive the 3 readings for tonight is to pass the renewal of the existing 6 mil property tax levy so we can get it on the November 2026 ballot. Again, it's a 5-year renewal beginning in tax year 2027 to be collected in tax years 2028 through 2032. And we're just trying to meet statutory deadlines for that. The second piece of legislation is just appropriate some funds in the Urban Forestry Grant Fund to be able to hire a part-time seasonal employee to water the trees and do any maintenance needed, especially with all the new trees that were planted downtown. That money will be reimbursed through an American Forests grant. So really, we just need to appropriate the money to be able to spend it up front and then turn in those expenses to be reimbursed. So to get that position interviewed for and hired, we ask that we waive the 3 readings for that as well. That's all I had. Thank you.
Thank you. At this time, we'll move into the public portion of the meeting. Deb Tyson, you're up.
Okay. Don't know if it's going to be short and sweet. Hope sweet. But I think that as a city, we do good because we've been doing better, which is all we all need to strive for. And I do like that I was able during the committee things to bring up my concerns, even to the point of getting a clarification on the levy, because as I've said before, you can meet with any one of you and ask for an appointment and get a clarification before you get here. If you can't get here, you can do that too. Yeah, you can watch it on YouTube, but I think that social media does not do us justice because I don't see any of them back here. None of them. And yes, I probably hear about it later, but I don't care. With that said, I would like to also say that because Jackson Park, they only have one picnic table there. I think that is ridiculous. And there may have been a reason because I seen chalk inside the shelter house. But that's when I noted that there was only one picnic table, and I walked the whole thing. So I think that's a little ridiculous. I think at least if one more picnic table could be added, I realize, maybe it's not, seems to be utilized, but we have a lot of young parents that have maybe new infants, whatever. They need to sit down while they're holding onto the stroller so they can pay attention to their kids playing in the playground. And basically, I think that we do well and we're doing better and we just need to stay on course. And that's it. Oh, one other thing. I would like to know if anybody knows if anybody's representing us at state because, everything falls downhill. And right now, things are up about property tax, which is, yeah, this is one form of government and can do what it wants. But if that goes away, then we know how that trickles. And so that's my concern, because if we don't weigh in, we don't have a right to say anything about it. And my other thing would be, I would hope people would get more active and come out to the community events and stuff. I really do, because there's just a lot of good, like, I found out book club is not just because of summer program. It's going to be ongoing. So I'm very happy to announce that all you have to do is go down to the research department in the library and meet Shaylin, and she will tell you all about it. So thank you.
Thank you, Deb. At this time, we'll open it up to other members of the public that wish to address council. We just ask you to state your name for the record and limit your comments to 3 minutes or less.
Good evening, Jill Filliater, 402 West Culbertson Street. Just a couple items. The first item is, again, I did speak during the financial end of it, and I am very supportive of the levy. It is no change that's going to be happening to us. So in order for us to continue on, I do feel that we should just go ahead and vote for the levy. I did voice my concern on the fact that the levy has been, we know it's coming, we knew it was coming, but we have to do it as an emergency read yet again. And I do think that that is probably could have been avoided, being that we've known it's been going on, because the amount of emergency reads still are excessive. But at the same time, I'm just putting it out there. The other thing I want to talk about is, yes, I am the one that is just requesting some more information in regards to managerial form of government versus mayoral form of government. And since it was brought up, I do want to put my 2 cents in for whatever it's worth. The issue I have is that we initially started, based on my understanding, is that we were able to get the Director of Finance and the Director of Law into the appointed format when we did this, with the understanding that our goal was to become a managerial form of government, and we were going to do it in steps. Now, that's wonderful, but if we are not going to go for a managerial form of government, and we're going to keep it with a strong mayoral and a hybrid of the other, it does pose problems. And I know that I will look at the ordinance more closely, or what the job description says. But in a hybrid form of government, the law and the finance report to council. So what leverage does the mayor, the strong mayor, have? So I'm a little complexed, a little concerned about that. I've voiced my concerns. I don't know if we are planning to do a managerial form of government. I would anticipate that if we're not going to go that route, then the citizens are probably going to question, then why did we do what we did? And that is the same question I'm posing. Why did we do what we did if we have no intention of going forward with a managerial form of government? Thank you.
Thank you. Any other members of the public wish to speak to council at this time? Seeing none, we'll move into old business.
An ordinance amending ordinance number 2026-35, correcting the legal description and declaring an emergency to exist.
Move to adopt.
Second. We have a motion by Mendoza, a second by Baker to adopt. Clerk, would you call the roll, please?
Lehman,
Yes.
Podak,
Yes.
Cassidy,
Yes.
Baker,
Yes.
Grine,
Yes.
Mendoza,
Yes.
Guernsey.
Yes.
That motion carries. It becomes ordinance number 2026-54. 54. That also concludes new business or old business tonight. We will move into new business.
An ordinance adopting and amending ordinance number 2025-83, permanent 2026 appropriations by appropriating from unappropriated funds in the Urban Community Forest Grant Fund and declaring an emergency to exist.
Motion to suspend the three reading rules on three separate occasions. Second.
Great. We have a motion by Cassidy, a second by Podak to waive the three reading rule on three separate occasions. Clerk, would you call the roll, please?
Lehman,
Yes.
Podak,
Yes.
Cassidy,
Yes.
Baker,
Yes.
Grine,
Yes.
Mendoza,
Yes.
Guernsey.
Yes.
The three reading rule has been waived.
Move to adopt. Second.
We have a motion by Cassidy, a second by Grind to adopt. Clerk, would you call the roll, please?
Lehman,
Yes.
Podak,
Yes.
Cassidy,
Yes.
Baker,
Yes.
Grine,
Yes.
Mendoza,
Yes.
Guernsey.
Yes.
That passes, becomes ordinance number 2026-55. 55.
A resolution to declare the necessity of levying a real estate tax levy in excess of the 10 million limitation and establishing November 3rd, 2026 as the date for the election relating to the enactment of a renewal real estate levy in the amount of 6 mills and declaring an emergency to exist.
Move to suspend the three reading rule on three separate occasions.
Second. We have a motion by Lehman, a second by Baker to suspend the three reading rule on three separate occasions. Clerk, would you call the roll, please?
Lehman,
Yes.
Podak,
Yes.
Cassidy,
Yes.
Baker,
Yes.
Grine,
Yes.
Mendoza,
Yes.
Guernsey.
Yes.
The three reading rule has been waived.
Move to adopt.
Second.
We have a motion by Podak, a second by Lehman to adopt. Clerk, would you call the roll, please?
Lehman,
Yes.
Podak,
Yes.
Cassidy,
Yes.
Baker,
Yes.
Grine,
Yes.
Mendoza,
Yes.
Guernsey.
Yes.
That passes, becomes ordinance number 2026-56. 56. That also concludes new business. Is there a need to go into executive session this evening? Seeing none, is there any miscellaneous business this evening?
I have miscellaneous. In an effort to improve the appearance of this community, there's a number of different groups that are stepping forward and doing their part in cleaning up Fostoria. And there's a group as we speak that is going down to a place that's been a real eyesore on North Union Street. And they are going to do the cleanup. They're going to also pay for the disposal cost of the trash and everything. And it would be the Iron Cross Motorcycle Group here in Fostoria. They're not real well known. They do a lot of good civic things for this community. They don't get much credit for it. And I thank them for their contribution.
Thank you, Mr. Cassidy.
I have just, maybe the mayor could give us a short rundown on how things went, maybe things we didn't see as far as the city was concerned with the huge influx of rail fans. I know that every business in town that I've talked to was thrilled to death with the number of people that were here and the way those people presented themselves. And
I'd be happy to. The Norfolk Southern told us that they had 46,000 people show up at the rail park that got in. Unfortunately, there were probably close to the same number who did not get in. So we have been lauded for doing a great job, and we have been told that we did a horrible job, depending on whether you were admitted or not. So we knew going in that a lot of people would not get admitted. We attempted to provide shuttle buses. We had them lined up with the schools. The Norfolk Southern decided they did not want shuttle buses coming in and out of the facility. So we were told we could not do that. Majority of the businesses in town had a record sales day. Not all, but most did. The glass gallery had over 200 visitors that day. The airport had 14 airplanes fly in for to see the big boy, and not all of those people were able to get in to see the event either. But they did enjoy Fostoria. They went downtown. They had lunch before they flew out. So overall, I think it was a success. I think we also have to recognize that it was not Fostoria's event. This was scheduled by the Union Pacific and the Norfolk Southern Railroads. They chose the mixing center as a location. Fostoria is on the short route between Fostoria and Chicago, where the train came through twice. And when it came out, it took a northern route coming in and a northern route going out. When it came back from Philadelphia, it did a southern route, came back to Fostoria, went to Chicago, and took a southern route to St. Louis for the weekend, and then headed back west. So I think overall we did as well as could be expected. We could have done a few things differently. One of the interesting challenges in today's world, with everybody having an app to tell them how to get to a facility, once the cars flood that location, the apps start going crazy and rerouting people. Well, if you have people turning around on a crowded street, it only confuses things more. So it became a very difficult situation for traffic control. The Seneca County Sheriff did the best job they could. They had signs at either end of Township Road 47. They should have had the signs, probably more signs, located further out. Should we have had porta potties along the township roads? I don't know. We did have a lot of extra porta potties in Fostoria. The people at the rail park basically sold out. The vendors that were there, they had a very good day as well. If I could look back with 2020 vision and say what could we have done differently, I think two things come to mind. One is, had our police force had access to the Norfolk Southern channel on their radios, so they could have heard when the railroad yard was closed and what the situation was out there, they might have been able to advise people better in the city who were stuck in traffic. And the other thing is, we might have been able to engage a radio station and kept them informed so that people could hear it on their car and been aware of what was happening and what was going on. But several people were trapped in traffic for 3 to 5 hours, and that is not a good situation. A lot of people drove a lot of miles not to see the event. Interestingly, on Wednesday morning when the train left, yes, there were people at the crossings, but nowhere near the number there were when it came through on June 6th. So overall, I think we did as well as we possibly could.
I have one miscellaneous item too. Yes, it's the night for comments. Mr. Mayor, I wanted to thank you for your comments about the hybrid method and share that I too fully support retaining both of these positions, finance director and the law director, as appointed positions. It's integral that we continue to do this to ensure that these two positions are filled with qualified individuals, and I thank you both for your service.
Thank you. Any other miscellaneous this evening? I will say, from a nerdy history standpoint, in human history, this is probably, last Tuesday was the largest number of people that have ever in humankind been in Fostoria, Ohio, and may very well ever be again in the future. So with 92,000 projected people plus our population. So just a little nerdy history thought.
Historical.
Well, when they had the convention many years ago for Cro-Magnon Man, they had like over 1 million people for that here.
We'll take your word for it. Mr. With that, we'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
All right, we have a motion by Cassidy, a second by Baker to adjourn. Clerk, would you call the roll, please?
Lehman,
Yes.
Hodak,
Yes.
Cassidy,
Yes.
Baker,
Yes.
Grine,
Yes.
Mendoza,
Yes.
Guernsey.
Yes.
All right, we are adjourned 6:25 PM.